What's up, guys? So I got kind of a fun, mild one today. I got this 2003 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Actually, a good buddy of mine picked this thing up. He probably only spent $50 on it or $100. I actually tried buying it off of him, but you know, he's got to buy up all the Jeeps. He's already got like 3 of them. John, you know who you are. Let us know down in the comments what you paid for this. But we kind of went through it, did some brakes on it, threw an interstate battery in it. But we're thinking we're gonna give this a little bit of pizzazz and mod it a little bit. So what I did is got a mild 2-inch lift kit from Rough Country. You know, nothing crazy. It is a Grand Cherokee. It's not like this thing's a Wrangler or anything like that, but we're gonna lift it up 2 inches. The kit pretty much comes with the spacers. I'll open up the kit. We'll show you guys what's in the kit. But you got the spacers, you got the Rough Country shocks, various hardware, things like that. Pretty straightforward lift kit job. But take you guys along, show you guys how I do it. I know we're gonna be battling some rust. Got a little bit of rust on the oil pan, things like that. He'll have his work cut out for him, but for the most part, it's a pretty cool Jeep. I like it. Needs to be cleaned out. All the dirt off it, a couple little rust spots, kind of take care of. A little TLC never hurt. So, but let's get this thing set up. We'll open up this Rough Country kit, show you guys what's in it, and we'll get this installed on there. Check you in a minute. So this is what the UPS man delivered us today. This is what the box it comes in, roughcountry.com. Let's get this thing opened up. Let's check out what's inside here. All right, so we got the stickers that I'll be taking from them for my collection. Maybe I'll leave them one. I need 2 of them. And obviously the good old destructions list. I never read them. I like to guess as I go. Got some packing in here. And these things actually got the metal spacers. Looks like these are going to be for the rear, I want to say. We got 2 of those. They don't say where they go. That looks like a rear spacer though. Then we got, obviously, the shocks. Here are the front ones. Pretty nice. Well, maybe I'll have to put his stickers on here, make them look better. So we got 2 of these, and probably 2 of the rears underneath. A couple of the rear ones. Pretty nice. And then we got this box here. Should have the front spacers, some hardware. Here's the front ones. And then you got the hardware, the mounting hardware for the front shocks. So that's pretty much the kit. So let's get into this, guys. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do first is just go around and give all the bolts that I'm going to have to work with a quick lube job. Spray them down, give them a nice little bath in this stuff. That way let them soak and deal with some of this rust. So here's underneath it some of the rust we're going to be dealing with. But I gave everything a nice spray Coating with the PB Blaster. We're gonna start off with the rear of this thing. You can get to that bolt straight on. This one I'll just use a wrench and try to impact this side. Looks like maybe a 15. And drop this down one side at a time. So it looks like we got to take the tires off because the lower bolts are just too rusty. So let's get these hoops off real quick. So I got that side off. Had to use some heat. You know, only in the Rust Belt, you got to bust out the torch to get a simple bolt off. But we're going to get on to this other side and always have water on hand. Got my safety glasses for torching. Fire this bad boy up. Warm it up a bit. Got it. You got the one underneath. We got that off, a little bit of heat. We got these up here. Can't really heat up the other side of this one, so hopefully it comes right out. That side, no problem. Disconnect this link here. So we'll see if we get that off. All right, guys, got both links disconnected here. So I got the one side out. What I did is jacked up on that side, got this side to come down, and pulled the spring. So I got the spacer here. The shorter one goes in back, and basically all we got to do is just remove the isolator and then pop this thing down there. So I'm going to get all this rust cleaned out, pull that rubber out of there, and set this down in there. The spacer falls right in there. So I got the spacer in there. And they don't want you to use the isolator. And basically just put the spring back in. I'd like to line it up exactly where it was at. I don't like struggling that much, so we're seeing if we use a pry bar. There we go. Make sure it's centered where you want it. Fall into place. I'm gonna go ahead and get the jack and jack this back up. Throw the shock on. Get the shock on. right, guys. So I got one side down. You can see the spacer in there. Rusty springs back in place. Then we got the rough country shock right there mounted. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same to the other side rear, and then we're gonna move on to the front. All right, guys, I went ahead and took the front tires off. We get ready to get these springs out. I resprayed everything. They want you to start off by disconnecting the links, pull the springs out. I'll probably pull the shock out right away from the top. Looks pretty rusty. I'll probably have to use the mini ductor to heat up that bolt, get the top bolt out. We'll see how that goes. Pull these two bottom bolts here and there. Pop these springs out real quick. We're going to speed past this a little bit.
Shut up and sit down.
Okay, got it down, got that spring out. They pretty much want you to take this with the supplied hardware, the self-tapping screw, and screw it up in there. It's a 19 millimeter. And you'll want to put the isolator back on. And we'll see if we get enough play out of this to get the spring back in. If not, I'll show you guys how I handle that. All right, guys, just a quick tip here to get these springs back in. Use a bottle jack. And we'll, most of the time you just need it for the passenger side, but you want to prop it. What that does is open it up a little bit, give you a little more room. Just make sure you get it in a decent spot. We'll get this thing set up in here. Alright guys, so I got the spring in there somewhat. I'm going to pretty much let the tension off the bottle jack now. It'll go up. We got to get that bottom isolator seated. Get this out of here. We'll definitely be using the bottle jack for the other side. Get the screw back under it. Start going up with it. Just pop that link pin back in. Alright. So I mounted the top of the shock, and they give you some supplied hardware here in the kit. Basically just a couple nuts, couple bolts, and some washers. So drop the bolt on through, the top down, and then we got a little nylon nut and a washer. Nylon nut and a washer. So this side's all set. Got the spring in, the rubber isolator at the top and the bottom, got the link back on, and the shock on. We'll get you guys set up on the other side. I'll show you how I use the bottle jack. This is the hard side. The diff doesn't want to come down because of the mount. So we'll see what we can do with the bottle jack. So here we go on this side. I got the link disconnected. Took the bolts out of the bottom of the shock. We're gonna start letting this thing down and see if we could get that spring out. Take it easy, take it easy. Sometimes you just gotta talk nice to it. Alright, so that's screw jacks out of the way. Get the bottle jack set up in there. Alright. Alright, so I found a spot right there with it. We're gonna see if that's good enough. Take it easy, take it easy. Alright, let's see if that worked. Definitely could get it out. We give this bottom isolator a spray. We gotta pull that out. Alright. Keep everything lined up. Get these isolators off. It goes like so. Oh. Alright, I got the spacer with the bolt ready to go, 19 millimeter. This thing lined up with a hole up here. Put that part in. The isolator back in there. Move up this rusty perch. And it is rusty. It's nice and lubed up. Pop it back on the spring first, and then try to line this sucker back up. There's a little notch cut out there. You gotta line that up. I can pretty much hear it straining now. All right, so I finally got the upper shock out on this side. That's what it ended up looking like. Had to heat it up, bend it up, whatever it takes to get these things out. Only in a RustBelt. Looks like a Tetris piece. We're gonna wrap this up. We'll get this other one in there, get these tires on, and we'll reveal the finished product, guys. Catch you in a minute. All right, guys, so that's it. Quick 2.5 lift kit. on that 2003 Jeep Grand Cherokee from rough country. You know, it doesn't always have to be extreme. You know, little subtle lifts. You know, this thing could still fit in his garage. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe installing an LED bar. Thinking about getting them to do that. We already got the LED bar, everything here. So maybe you guys want to see a video installing an LED bar on this thing. We also got this neat little aluminum bracket for the front plates. So you can mount a small LED here. Kind of neat. Be throwing that on there for the guy. But just wrap this one up. Had to do a quick wardrobe change. Represent the RustBelt. RustBelt, you the man. Got my merch today. Had to throw it on before I wrap up my day. You guys check out RustBelt's channel. If you guys don't know of him, you've been under a rock. Great guy, great YouTube channel. Make sure you guys check him out. He's actually coming to visit this weekend, so make sure you guys check that out too. But as always, guys, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like if you haven't liked. Comment if you haven't commented. We'll catch you in the next one. Signing out.